talking about something today that has become so common in today's society. It's practically encouraged: disordered eating. Now, disordered eating is different than eating disorders. Eating disorders fit the diagnostic criteria provided by the DSM-5. Disordered eating refers to behaviors that people use to control their weight or emotions. This can include restrictive diets, binging, purging, diet pills, overexercise, and a general preoccupation with weight and shape. In fact, this is a sticky topic because many people will listen to the definition, realize that it is encouraged in our society as dieting, and get upset. The truth is, we've all been influenced by society. And don't get me wrong, sometimes this comes from a good place. The problem with that good place is that sometimes it's really referring to companies' agendas. Hundreds of companies have capitalized on making people feel like their bodies are not good enough, resulting in a multi-million-dollar industry of weight products. I'm not sure who said this, but it's true. If tomorrow women woke up and decided they really liked their bodies, just think of how many industries would go out of business. I'm not saying that we should just forget about health and everything will be perfect. Our lives have been changed by modern conveniences. We live in a society surrounded by food. We don't need to move as much. The obesity epidemic is real and impacts who knows how many people. But what I'm saying is that we need to look at our definition of health and focus on healthy lifestyles, not on weight. Dieting is a form of trying to control your weight through unnatural measures. Counting calories, cutting out carbs, diet pills, binging, purging, spending hours at the gym on the treadmill. As Emma Thompson said, diets are the best way of confusing your metabolism for the rest of your life. Just be you and get on with it. Look at the extremes we get into. At a party, eat anything and everything you want. Take a cheat day from your diet. On Thanksgiving, eat so much you can barely move. Every New Year's Eve, party it up. Then, on New Year's Day, write your diet resolution. The day after the party, make sure you eat nothing but salad. Except for your cheat day, make sure you follow the diet exactly. Do you see a problem? I sure do. We're promoting extremes, not health. No wonder people struggle with dieting. We have an ideal in society, and it's unhealthy the way we are attempting to achieve it. Let's look at the research. As I list the statistics, remember that this does not just impact females. Males are a part of this as well, unfortunately. In my research, I found that most define disordered eating as using one or more of the following methods to lose or control weight: laxatives, calorie restriction, purging, binging, and weight loss drugs. You see, oftentimes disordered eating ends up backfiring on the person. For example, binging is not a weight loss method, but it can be the result of lack of calories. Your body is literally screaming for food. If you don't feed your body, it can negatively change physical performance and health. Disordered eating and exercise found that disordered eating can lead to depression, low self-esteem, and anxiety. According to influences of disordered eating in children, children as young as 5 years old have shown a preoccupation with weight, wanting to be thin. According to the research, much of this preoccupation is influenced by increased public awareness of the obesity epidemic, which has in turn placed extreme pressures on school-age children. Is this what we were going for with our focus on weight? To add more stress to child's lives and take away the magic of being a child? Of just being yourself and exploring the world? 5th grade students, according to Preadolescent Disordered Eating Predicts Subsequent Eating Dysfunction, reported binging at a rate of 12%. 5% reported purging food, and 10% reported restricting food. I just remember thinking about what I was going to play at recess at that age. Prevalence and risk and protective factors related to disordered eating behaviors among adolescents found that 56% of 9th grade females and 28% of males reported disordered eating. Remember, we're not talking about people who are eating well and enjoying physical activity. We're talking about kids who are already engaging in unhealthy, disordered eating. Finally, moving on to the adults. Patterns and prevalence of disordered eating and weight control behaviors in women ages 25 to 45 found that 3/4 of women find their weight or shape moderately or severely changes how they feel about themselves in general. As J.K. Rowling said, is fat really the worst thing a human can be? Is fat worse than vindictive, jealous, shallow, vain, boring, evil, or cruel? Not to me. Yet it seems that a majority of these adults do find it to be a huge factor in their view of themselves. The first step is to teach others what disordered eating is, so that we can all look into ways to stop it and allow people to live a truly healthy life. This is my favorite quote and personal definition of health. I am thinking about continuing to create these videos to address more. This was literally just a brief dip into the definition of disordered eating. Look below if you want to look into my sources or learn more about the negatives of disordered eating. As I continue researching and learning from everyone around me, I will create either videos or blog posts addressing alternatives to disordered eating to increase health without obsessing or having it take over our lives. If there are any questions you have or constructive comments you'd like to make, please comment or message me. I want to make this a discussion, not a lecture. We can all learn from each other.